go ahead and open up the
They
meeting
asked-
then, and then,
they
we'll go
asked-
through
All right.
stuff.
Oh, this one.
So maybe I'll stand for the pledge real
We
quick.
don't have to do this.
Yeah, we gotta make sure we just give a reason why, because we're not sure.
All right, let's,
We'll go from there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
okay,
Okay,
now,
almost a meeting at 6:35. Let's see, Barb, you wanna take roll call? Or do you want me to call it out and you just write it down?
well, I need spellings of
Oh, you need to close
both of
the.
your names.
Yeah.
and,
There we go, now I can see it.
Mine's easy. His last name's Harris. T-A-R-A-S.
Oh, jeez. Thank you, sir.
T-A-R-A-S.
Right.
Yeah, so we have.
L-O-C-K-E.
Well, that's easy too.
We'll make it simple.
Yeah, great.
Well, thank
We
you.
won't talk a lot, so you don't have to take a lot of notes.
I'm liking that already. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Ahern,
Here.
Weaver,
Here.
Locke,
Here.
Terrace,
Here.
Garber, here. Okay.
And in attendance is.
We're missing Martyr,
Mrs. Martyr and
Dunbar.
Riley.
Oh,
Mr. Riley.
Riley and Dunsmore, who never comes.
Bart Dunsmore. Oh, Lord. Lord, Lord, Lord.
Okay, I move that we approve the, what do you call that?
Emphasis.
Or yes, that we do.
Excuse the absences.
All right, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Let's see if this works.
Alright, let me get my agenda out here.
Alright, and let's go over the agenda for last month, September 13th, see if there's anything.
Hold on.
We gotta adopt
Adoption
the
or amendment of the
letter
agenda.
C. We have
Number
to
C,
adopt.
there's three things that I think we need to add on to new business. First, I guess we should put the lot split. for
Alright, so
Chris,
that would be under new, alright, so
business.
we're gonna amend the agenda
number
for new
one.
business lot split.
And if you wanna put a name on it, Chris Kohler, or Collins, or.
Talking about this one?
Hollinger.
That's your agenda.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, and
We
under,
gotta add this lot split to the new business, we gotta at least talk about, probably end up
Lot
tabling
split.
it.
and then under, what else do you
Oh, new,
have?
and second, these are gonna be real brief things, but I wanted to bring people up to speed on it.
Where is this gonna go?
New number 2 for,
Oh.
under new business.
Okay,
This would be number 2 under new business,
Got it.
circuit court zoning appeal by Toits. And that's just, again, a quick informational thing, I'll bring people up to speed, because this has to do with zoning, and I want everybody to stay informed on that.
So
Right.
circuit court appeal update.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then, when you're ready, number 3 under new business, code enforcement and zoning enforcement in C1. Code enforcement, zoning enforcement in C1. Again, just briefly, I
okay.
gave you all, again, just for information, only some sheets. Each one should have a copy. You can look at them later, but I'll just touch on them. There's different information that we'll talk about tonight that are just supplements, but we'll get there as well.
Alright, so we need a motion to, amend the agenda.
Okay, I'll make a motion to attempt to amend the agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
All right,
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. So, you're good.
Alright,
All right, want to check over the meeting minutes from last month, on September 13th, give it a brief once through to see anything needs to be changed or updated.
I didn't see anything that we would change in.
Anything you wanna look through it real quick,
Me either. Happy with it.
Alright, see a motion to approve,
I move we approve the minutes as
Yes.
presented.
as presented. Okay, can I
Did
get
you
a
make the
second?
motion? Somebody else. Did you
Steve made the
I did.
motion to approve the minutes as amended, yeah. And I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Citizens, I guess we can check
Yeah,
that out.
citizens comment, anybody have anything? We can, well, we're citizens.
We are too.
Not yet, not now.
No, not till we get to the new business, cause I think we all have questions
Right.
on that.
Yeah, okay, so another meeting, alright, no citizens comments. Communications, real quick, I don't know if you received this, I guess we'll do this under communication. This is
Yeah,
attached
yeah.
to my packet
Yes,
for
I
the
got one
planning
in my
commission
packet.
workshop,
Mhm.
so I'm gonna take that day off, and I'm gonna go to that.
Great.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
gonna go too. I just wasn't sure, do I, it says here you mail it in.
Well, yeah, it says you can mail, you can email it, I mean, right down here it says payment enclosed or invoice, you can have it invoiced to you. And, please complete the attached form and mail or email to the address listed below. Any questions regarding?
Will the city pay for this?
Yes, they should.
I think they will.
So I think maybe the best thing is to contact Donna, and if you both wanna go, if anybody else wants to go, let her take care of it.
I think the city.
Because
will
last
pay
time I
for
went to
this.
class, it was a hard time. I paid for it in front, and it was
And then
just a
trying to
mess.
get it, it was,
It was a
yeah,
mess.
I mean,
So
fair enough.
let them take care of it.
I can swing by in tomorrow and see her.
Yeah, to let her know that you and Tom both like to attend, and
Yeah, I'll pop in tomorrow.
they can be
too.
supportive.
I might go, but I might have to travel that week, so I gotta see where I'm at with that.
Yeah, that's what I was checking on too, to see, make sure I'm gonna be, it's at night.
Yeah.
I don't travel.
I'll be in
About as far as I travel is from here to work from home.
Well, if, you know, two of you are going, that's great, just give us a brief, you know,
Yeah,
that's what we try to do. If
that's-
Yeah,
one
that's
person
fine, that's
goes, try to share the high points.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so yeah, so we can list that under communication. That's basically what was communicated to us.
Yep.
Barb, should we have in the minutes that I brought some information in, that, is that necessary, you think, the,
Under communication, we did, that you brought information in,
pardon?
and so you're talking about
Under F, communications.
under communications.
Yeah, because, you know, what, didn't have a chance to go in the pack, but, yeah, you got a copy here. You got one.
Pretty much.
That's for you, then.
Okay.
This is stuff that we'll talk about as we come to it, but should we make note, just say Steve brought some communications in regarding the master plan.
Good stuff, good,
Pardon me?
good stuff.
Also, there's a letter from Secretary Dunbar. I think that was in our packets that we got.
Yeah,
That we should add in there also.
Well, that was, wouldn't this just go along with the, oh, this should be a communication? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because it's his information to us.
Right.
That we received a letter from Secretary Dunbar in regards to his update of the bylaws for formatting and grammatical changes.
Okay.
okay.
He says he redlined it in a clean copy in the Dropbox if you want to review it. And he did, and there is gonna be a copy with the city clerk.
I would, well, when the time comes, I think we should just table that until he's here, don't we? Because-
Yeah, I want,
But we'll
yeah,
have to wait till we get to that.
right, I'm just saying that we got the letter, so.
Right, okay.
All right, new business, moving along.
Do we need to note that we added the communications in? Or-
We got,
What do you
Oh,
want?
yeah, I move that we
Second.
add, okay. That we
And
have
I'll,
to add the
Except,
communications.
yeah.
okay, all
Or,
right.
what is it, on file? or
Okay, so motion, show the communications were issued during the meeting.
Place them on file.
Yeah, placed on file, and we got a second from Mr. Lot, so all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to new business, lot split, item number 1, we received An application for land division, combination, and alteration by Memphis resident in regards to, what it shows, Steve, is,
I'm not too understanding. So these existing lots are already here, 63, 64, and 65, 66, 67, now these, so they're talking about splitting.
Well, it says proposed parcels on the left-hand side of that first page. It's
Yeah.
confusing to me too, but proposed parcel A,
Yeah.
3.9 acres, and
And then-
proposed B.
That's these two right here.
So it's all one piece currently and they wanna make it.
right, it's, right,
Yeah.
this is his property,
Okay.
and it looks like he owns 63, 64,
He owns all of this, but he's only talking about splitting A
the
and B.
two, the A and B
But where
parcel,
does
parcel
A
B.
front? I'm sorry, guys, where does A front? Cause I see B has the frontage on Main Street, right? Is that what I'm seeing?
On M19, yeah.
Yeah, so that's got frontage on M19, it's a small amount of it. And then it goes back and where does,
So this has to be that road that goes by the park, right?
yeah, so the access to parcel A would be off of the
Possibly, yeah.
road from the park?
Yeah, that's the only other way I see you
Yeah.
can do it.
So he wants to split this?
It appears that way.
Is
And
that
then-
actually a road though, or is it a driveway? I don't see a street name on it, so I mean,
There is a driveway that turns in off of that. I believe it goes like behind
yeah, okay.
the elevator.
Where is this,
It's
we're on-
right, the road that runs into Museo Park.
Yeah, this is where the park is, right here.
So what would the address for that be though? I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Because there's no street.
For A,
Yeah.
there's no street name, so what would the address be? I mean, how do you
the
split?
property information is 81300
Yeah, it would
Main
probably be
Street.
Main
Which is
Street.
this.
Main Street.
Yeah, but it's not fronted on Main Street.
What do you mean?
Lot A.
Lot A.
It's not fronted on Main Street, it's fronted on the driveway going along.
Oh, you don't
the
have,
park.
he's got a copy of it.
Now,
Which
see,
ones are getting split?
parcel A is what
Parcel
we're
A is
talking
These
parcel
two
about.
back ones.
It doesn't front onto anything.
This
Yeah.
does.
Yeah,
Parcel
you
B
got-
does, there's
yeah,
a small-
parcel B
there's a
does.
small
So you got
portion in
frontage
there.
here.
That's where the address would be, right here. They'll create the address.
Yeah,
Right
but
there,
that'll be
number
parcel,
three.
that'll be parcel B, but
That's
then parcel
parcel
A,
B.
where's the access
That's
from the
part of
main
parcel
street?
B. The parcel A looks like
There's not a
it's,
road to give it a
looks like
street
it's,
address, right?
Right, but he's gonna have both of these properties. And it'll be, address will be right there.
Yeah, but they're asking to split it so that they could sell this one and this one separately, right? Once it's split, they can,
No, they're selling them both. Those two properties are what's being sold. I
are they
didn't-
trying to merge them? Are they trying to split them? Because once it's split, it needs to have its own address. But it
No,
doesn't front
it
on
doesn't
the
have to
street.
have its own address. These
It's
can all be,
landlocked then.
these can all be under the same address.
Okay.
If one person owns it.
Okay.
Where's the,
Well, I mean.
I'm not
Is
sure
this
about
like
if
that.
it's sold to two different people,
I'd like
then it
to
would have
get
to
some
have a separate
clarification from the guy who's
address.
doing
right?
the split.
I don't know.
exactly.
I don't know,
What's the-
this is.
I've got a real estate background, so I've had a real estate license for 30 years, and my wife's a broker owner, and we've dealt with this, and I just.
You wanna call Amber?
Usually you need to have a.
Barb, do you wanna call Amber? Do
Pardon?
you want me to call Amber?
I don't know. Are they in a big hurry? We can't table this until we can figure this out, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
I'm a
either.
little-
This,
Do you want me to call
Oh,
Amber?
yeah.
See if she can answer your question.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out where,
I
if
guess so.
I bring up,
Amber
the
is
draft map,
assessor.
will that show these parcels on there?
Well, she's the
Yeah.
assistant clerk.
Just so I get an
and she's
idea
the
where it's at.
assessor. She's
Yeah,
our
we know
new-
Jamie.
It might, it
the
would seem
assessor.
that.
My wife
whoever
is
wants-
assessor.
It doesn't work very well.
Well, Jamie's gone.
Jamie.
Amber, you're with the planning commission.
Yeah, hi Amber, it's Barb. We're looking at, hi, we're looking at this lot split. We got some questions.
I'm gonna try to answer.
Okay, all right, John, lay it
So,
on her.
Amber, this is John Terrace.
Hi.
I'm looking at this lot split proposal, and so it's kind of really clear for Lot B, the 5 acres, and that's got frontage on M19. But for
Okay.
parcel A, it doesn't have any road frontage, as far as I can see. So how would we give that an address?
So that parcel is being kept by the current owners. That is owned by the same people who own the elevator.
Right?
So that's a good catch. That would need to be fixed.
Yeah, there's no address. They would need road frontage to give it an address.
They need to make it part of 64 or 63.
Yeah, they would have to be part of 63 or 64.
Right, yep, you're right,
Yeah.
yeah.
They can keep it landlocked as long as they remain the owners, but then it's hard for them to sell it and develop it without any road frontage to have an access. Because you can't, I don't think you can legally use the park driveway as.
I don't know exactly how
as
this works out, but this is kind of.
Yeah,
Right, their best case scenario is if they plan to sell the parent parcel, the remaining parcel would be to combine it with the property that the elevator is sitting
You see
on.
this block
Right.
building?
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's right on the road.
Perfect.
There's a foundation.
I
But
think
they
I'm
are
clear.
they are just
And
in
this
the
is-
middle of trying to sell a piece of property with the is it Main Street? Yeah,
Yeah, the 5 acres.
frontage on it.
And how much frontage is that on that?
Doesn't look like much.
Oh, it should say on there.
It looks like it's just enough for a driveway. I
Curve number
don't see a
3.
number on it.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's just an
I
existing,
don't know what this
well,
means.
that's too short, it's not 75 feet. Amber, any chance, you think they'd be willing to come and explain what they're doing here? Not tonight, but I mean,
I'm sure you would.
We're all
What
a little,
I understand is they can't afford the taxes. They're
Okay.
splitting it off to sell it, and
Yeah.
the person who is buying it would like to put, I believe, an accessory building in the rear yard. It's not going to be a business, or
yeah, we're all for helping get,
eventually, or
get
what.
it accomplished,
Where
but
that he can't. I'm sorry.
we're all for helping get it accomplished, but I'm just not sure exactly what's what with the
Yeah.
drawing. We don't have very much information other than just the blueprint and what's existing and like John Rose, raised the access from the road.
Yeah,
It would help a lot better if we had someone
I can't find
who
the
could tell us what exactly what they're trying to do
plots.
and show us on the map. I mean, but I don't feel comfortable voting on it tonight because I just don't know exactly what
They're keeping this one.
I
what
know,
they're asking.
but what address, how's
No,
the tax
that's
bill?
totally
They're not
fair.
taking that.
They own all of this?
I think their phone number is on the application, so I can give them a call
That'd be great.
tomorrow,
This is what-
or if you guys want to try to call them, it's totally up to you.
No, I would be happy to have you take care of
This is
that.
350 feet wide.
Yeah,
Right.
That's great, and so we're, I don't know what we're discussing, but we just want a little clarification on it. If we decide not to okay it tonight.
okay.
All good?
Yeah, I will let them know whatever happens.
Okay, thank you, Ann.
You're welcome.
And this is 350 feet wide, by the way.
Which one?
If I'm reading
Parcel
this
B,
right, does
yes,
curve
yeah.
3 mean it's
Parcel B
only
is-
25 feet?
Well, it's 148 on this lot and 207 on this lot. But
Yeah, I don't know
this
what
piece
that's
here doesn't tell us what it
I
is.
think it does if you go over here. Does this mean 23
Curve
feet, 25 feet, 52 inches?
That could be,
Curve
could
this
be the
way?
location. of
I'm not
the-
sure, cause this,
Yeah,
like you said, this is a pretty small, I know where that building is, right here,
That's
there's a
about
little
right.
driveway.
yeah.
But the property itself is almost 350.
Yeah, I see that, the overall, it gives the
A little bit
overall.
over. Yeah, because you gotta make sure they got enough room to put a road in on it to their driveway because there's setbacks for that as well, right?
I think somebody
So,
said.
I just wanna make sure they do it right and they're not gonna hurt themselves.
Yeah, they
The
split
guy
it and then they
buys the
can't build
property,
it.
And then he
Yeah.
can't do what he wants to do with it.
Right,
That's kind of
right.
his point. And I know these people and I don't wanna see them lose out. I wanna see them be
Oh,
able to sell
no,
it and
we're,
move on.
we support
So-
our people.
so,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So lot
historical
63 is the grain
I've
elevator?
walked into a lot of these things before,
think
it
so.
caused us a lot of trouble. It's because
Yeah.
we did not do due diligence.
Right, so, yeah.
So the grade, the people that own the green up, that's the same, this is the same.
Yeah, the
people?
Collingers, yeah.
That, you think so, or yeah?
That's why I want someone here who's
Yeah,
got.
because I
Yeah,
think
well-
this makes sense, lot 63, I think, is the grain,
This is the lot, so, because this is, you said this is the park right here?
that's.
Yeah,
the
that
part.
would be, you're right, John, that would be
Yeah.
the piece that,
That's what,
I'm
so
pretty
I only reason, I looked when I first, years ago, moved here, I remember that was for sale, and I looked at it, I didn't look at it, but I remember looking at it,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember them saying it was around 9 acres they were trying to sell, so it sounds like they were just trying to sell
So do
this.
they own all of this property here?
That's what they're saying, they own this whole thing, they own, they must not own, this must be the Joyology, the 63 and the 67, these lots are
yeah, on the corner of
are
Board.
right here in the corner. So that would mean that they would be from curve 4, curve number 3, 4, 2, 1. That's that's all of theirs, and then these proposed A and B. So right now, I'm no, sounds like John has a better idea than me.
Yeah, because.
But I'm just trying to figure out, what they're saying is this is now 9 acres, they wanna split the 9 acres to 4 and 5, basically.
I'd like to see what's going on with that number 3 curve, what that actually is representing.
Yeah, so
That
for-
frontage, and are those
Yeah.
lots in the front along N19, are the existing lots? I mean, I would just like to have that confirmed, that those have already been surveyed, those aren't part of it, we're only dealing with the back 2 pieces.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions, I
There is.
agree.
Yeah.
And then, I'm assuming lot 70 is not theirs at all, and that just goes off into the,
Yeah, they need to come in and talk to it. I mean, I would feel, I'm not gonna, I can't support it like this.
And yeah, it's just,
Yeah, again, we don't wanna
We-
approve something and somebody can't do what they wanted and it just.
No.
and if there's a rule, you gotta have 75 feet of frontage in order to access, then that would change some of these dimensions.
Right.
Now, how do we,
And we can put those questions to them and they can come back with answers on them from their, whoever's surveying the land for them or doing the paperwork
So-
or the description.
If their frontage isn't enough, are we allowed to give variance if
Variance?
needed if we approve this? I
No.
guess- No variances for
Only the
that?
ZBA can give a variance.
Okay.
Yeah, they have to apply for a variance.
And who would
The
approve
zoning
that?
board of
The-
appeals.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually, I think the variance would go to the planning commission first.
and then we.
And then
Yeah.
they make a
Yes.
decision.
Right.
And
And
then,
then if they wish to appeal, they'll
Yeah.
go to the
Yeah,
ZBA.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just, I think we can move it along once we get some more
Mhm.
information on it.
It's too bad he didn't.
well, so is
He could've
Amber
answered
gonna,
me
is
and
Amber
a
gonna
lot
send
of
us
questions.
I left it with, she's gonna call.
Okay, all right, so then I say we tabled it, I say I make a motion to table this, do we contact the property owners to get more information?
Well,
And then schedule an appointment with them?
I'm assuming Amber's going to do that.
Okay,
We left it in her.
okay.
This is her ball of wax.
Is she gonna do that
She's
tonight?
the assessor.
No.
I don't know. That's a lot of expect to come down tonight. But in the minutes,
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, if you
gonna
read
just-
this, it even makes
because
it
it always says you gotta have a reason.
Makes it extremely complicated.
The second page, the legal
Table on
description
the
is
reason
more
why
complicated.
you got out of that class. So
Yeah,
say that we
they
need
are.
more
It's just
information.
all numbers.
Yeah, it says lot
Yeah.
64,
And then more
65,
You got one
68,
reason in there
69.
so that it's in our minutes.
Yeah, just give me a
Why
legal
we didn't make
description
a
for all those
decision.
lots,
Yeah.
is what it is. And they're
I'll just say we
confusing.
need more information on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
And owner not present, or petitioner
Right.
not present, to answer questions,
Yeah. I don't,
just to keep us safe.
I don't know. Okay.
Well,
All right, so I move that somebody's gotta make a motion to table this.
I'll make a motion to table.
And I will definitely second that. All in favor?
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Motion carried. Next, I wanna sit down and read that and remember, run through on that a little bit more.
All right, what's next?
Circuit Court Appeal update.
Yeah, I
Mr.
just
Weaver, you have
wanted
information on that.
Just to let you guys know, and I think, I don't know if I had it in that paper I gave you that, the court date is coming up soon. I did ask our attorney if I could attend, and he said it's a Zoom meeting. So hopefully I can get that code, because I really wanted to watch the proceedings too, so I knew firsthand what was going on there. But as it stands right now, the zoning board of appeals denied their variance. We let them, or the zoning board of appeal allowed them to continue the work. They reversed the stop work order so they could continue working, doing their upgrading of the building. But the variance still was denied. So they were, with Barb taking those great notes and all the information that we put together on that zoning board of appeals meeting, that's all going to the circuit court.
Okay.
How
Well,
closely
let's
Go ahead.
explain to John what happened.
I know the whole
they,
story.
yeah, he was
Okay,
there.
all right, no, I'm sorry,
Thank
okay,
you.
so
Yeah.
you know that we
That's why
just,
I'm here.
it was a rerun. It was.
Yeah, it was a rerun,
It was a
yeah.
Yeah,
rerun.
do
Yeah, because the
Oh, do-over,
video,
yeah.
audio wasn't,
Yeah.
Right.
And the
clear
meeting
yeah.
was, it was sheer chaos.
And this is for the funeral home?
Yes, it is, they're requesting a variance on the funeral home to use it as a migrant labor
And that's
camp.
Toits, right?
Yes.
Toits is
They are
trying
the
to,
owners.
yeah, I can't remember, we went over this last time.
And so right now,
Twice,
it's stop. So what were they doing? Were they redoing, redoing the funeral home to make it a multi,
Well, they were using it as a migrant
right, it's a
labor
migrant
camp under
camp,
the
right?
Department of Agriculture rules. However, they're in conflict with our zoning. C1 district overlay, or C1 commercial district overlay runs up and down M19 for the most part.
Right,
So you're allowed to have C1, which covers commercial buildings of various sorts. We have a description.
Not agricultural.
right,
Yes,
it's not listed as
and also
agricultural.
R1, which is just residential. So
Right.
those are the two
On
zoning-
M19,
zoning language that governs those two spaces. And residential multiple is where you could have something like they.
right, but
want.
that building is not designed for,
Doesn't even matter.
No,
It's just not zoned for that. That's
That's
just
what
the
I'm
way
saying,
the
it's not
rules
zoned.
work.
And
you
it's
know?
just spooky to put people living there, man, come on, let's be honest.
Well,
I
I'd like
want that on
to,
the slab,
Yeah.
they're
so
either,
the
they're-
update right now is that,
little marble pillow.
so are they, so
They're suing us.
right, I understand they're suing us, and that's what, a stop work?
No, the stop work order was, at first, the first meeting we had, they denied them, we didn't allow them to continue working, so there was a stop work order put, they couldn't do anything. And the variance was denied, then we did the do-over, the zoning board said, go ahead, finish your work, improve your building, that's fine, but we still denied the variance. So now that the circuit court judge asked for this clarification information, because she just, I don't know why, I think it's a lady, I'm not sure, but didn't have enough information really to make a decision. There
Okay,
was no real reasons, the minutes were very, very sparse.
yeah, they
You
were
know.
they were bad
Yeah,
because
I can understand why it was done over,
there was just,
but that isn't the case this time. Between what Barb took and the other citizens' comments and other written stuff that was amended, and all the codes were cited also that were in violation. And in the minutes, Barb had C attached code violations, which was a couple pages that I wrote up
yeah.
right from our
Okay.
code book.
And I mean, we
So they
outlined,
can find it, they can see it right there if they're gonna look at it. You know, whether they do or not, I don't know.
everything was outlined. Our total explanation of all of our reasons, and we have, to me, I
Valid.
can't imagine that they would reverse this because we followed all the guidelines.
And the citizens' comments,
And a lot
Barb
of
got
them.
those down in
Yeah.
a encapsulated form. We had several people
So you got the
speak.
community's input.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, and the attorney, there were 4 items that the attorney talked about, and he said, in order for you to grant the variance, they have to show these, like, 4 things,
Right.
okay? That the building can't be used for anything else. Oh, yes, it can. It can be used for a lot of things, and that, this wasn't their fault, well, yes, it was, because they didn't find out what the zoning was. And
They
then
move forward with an agenda and then it backfired.
in
You
the
can't
attorney-
feel
yeah.
sorry for them if they have self-inflicted harm. That's their
No.
fault.
They should turn it into a flower shop, like I said.
Well,
Their flower
it could be
Some
a
plants.
law
lot of things they could do.
office, it
Right.
could be a lot of things.
It could be a
it's
lot.
commercial,
lot
so
of
retail
things.
space is what it could be.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
Okay.
could
because
be-
they could put their own office.
So they're still fighting us, they're still
Yeah,
fighting us with
yeah.
that.
That makes more sense. I don't know if any of you read the most recent article from Oakland County Sheriff Bouchard about
Regarding-
the immigrants and migrant workers.
No.
It's pretty interesting. He had to be careful what he said because there's a lot of litigation going on, but a lot of these people are in their spare time going to rural areas and robbing houses. And they're dealing with a lot of that in Oakland County. My house was robbed 5 years back when it was the drug addicts that were doing it. There was a big gang of them, and I came home and my door was kicked in, and they stole everything.
oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
So,
stuff's in all of our
it's-
front doors all over the country now. That's why we gotta
Yeah.
be extra vigilant to keep it
He
out
was
of here.
very clear that it is all of these immigrants that are coming across the border. They've got nothing better to do, and they're strolling around in their
Well,
spare time.
but allegedly, these migrant workers are vetted and
Yeah,
are up, but,
And under visas, supposedly H2 visas.
right. And
but, you know,
Yeah.
how do we know that? How do
Yeah,
we
you
know
don't.
that? We don't know that.
they're, It's a total different culture. I go to Mexico all the time and I see this stuff. They're raised differently.
It's
It's
a
a whole
third
different
world country, it's
mindset.
a third world
Yeah.
mindset, and that's it. They're not assimilating the US.
They're very nice people, very, very nice people, but, you know, they're a whole different thought process.
They're used to throwing their old refrigerator out on the side of the road. You know,
Right.
we don't use
Yeah.
dumps. That's just one of many.
Speaking, you know, I went by there today and I don't know if they're working in there, I don't know what's going on, but that dumpster that's behind the funeral home there, it's overflowing. So who's in there? I mean, who's?
They might be doing the
They
work.
might be working.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was.
Yeah.
Because they did get approved to start
Yes.
working.
Yeah, it was piles and piles of white garbage bags. It wasn't
Yeah, that might be
material,
just
you
from
know,
the
it was just
refurbishing.
overflowing with,
Mhm.
I don't know, I have no
And
idea.
The one comment from Toyd's attorneys was that they just wanted the stop work order lifted, so they
Right.
could go in and finish the bathrooms and floors.
Mhm.
And nobody put that in writing. And I tried to ask our legal counsel there, and he kind of shut me down and said, I'm not taking any questions, not answering anything. But that was their statement, and it should have been put in writing.
I didn't hear that, I
And
don't
then we
remember.
could have
Yeah, I don't.
lifted that stop work order. Go
Well,
ahead and finish
but
the bathroom
Mel,
and the floor.
Mel can issue another stop work order.
Okay.
If he sees that anything is funny going on, he has every right to issue.
Right.
And
We
it's
were-
gonna be
we-
thoroughly inspected.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they could be in there building multiple little apartments in there right now and not just bathrooms.
You said it's going back to court when?
December.
December?
Yeah, that's ballpark, that's what Kurt
Just
told me.
approximate. Yeah.
I'd like to listen in on that one.
Yeah,
Well, I'd say, I let Alan know I wish to, and I don't see, if it's a court proceeding, I don't see why I should
we
be
should all
able
be
to
able
get a
to.
Zoom
No,
call.
that's public.
Zoom or not Zoom, we should all be able to.
So I'll keep
It's, oh,
following
it's
up on it.
a public open court.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
oh yeah,
not
there's
closed
no
court.
reason why.
Yeah, I wanna
By
see that
anybody.
firsthand how that goes.
Yeah.
I don't wanna
Right,
rely on
okay.
secondhand information.
Yep.
So
Okay.
that was, number one?
That was two,
Oh, two, okay. moving
Lot
on.
split and then.
code enforcement. Now,
Yeah,
number
we're
three.
taking
it in business, yeah.
We're taking that up, but I just wanted to mention to you all, you know, we've been working at council on, trying to figure out a way to enforce code, basically.
We need that.
And we're working on it.
Yeah.
We got a meeting Friday, I think, to look at this again. But in that packet that I think I gave this, I don't know if I gave anything on that or not. No, I don't think I did, but we're working on it.
We have police
Particularly on
officers
the
that drive
highway.
around town all day, and there's not that much else going on around here that during the day when they drive around and there's a code violation or something, they should be making a stop. They should be part of their responsibility.
Police
not-
don't want any part of it.
It always was
It's not part
until,
of the police's job. The police chief's job is to look over commercial property that was written in like 1957.
Right.
Just
well,
so you know.
So,
Every
yeah.
other city has a code enforcement officer, that's what we're gonna do Friday, we're gonna hire somebody, and that's his
Oh,
job.
okay, cool. Yeah, I know that some cities, it's actually the building department does the code enforcement.
until 2 years ago,
A code
the police,
officer.
but the
So we
police
are-
We
department
just gotta
always did it.
clarify and flesh it out. I mean, we have things in our code book that tell us what we can do.
When we got
Actually,
the new
there's
police
ways to
chief,
go
he
about
didn't
it, but
wanna
we have to
do that anymore.
Do it.
So now we
Yeah.
gotta spend more money on
holiday
code
flags,
enforcement
and how's it
officers.
passed down for, you know, enforcement, or, I like to work with people before we start writing tickets. I mean, we got organizations in town
Exactly.
that would help, we got,
They've done that, cause I have that red truck that's across from my house. And right now, because of this whole Boardman construction, I got people flying up and down Potter. And I know Bruce, cause he stops by every so often when I'm outside. And he shows me a stack of tickets. I mean, it was like 4 occasions in front of my house.
Yeah.
Or
He's
just
supposed to-
goes in and he gets them.
Yeah, they're just whizzing up Potter Street. The mail truck came whizzing up one time about 40 miles an hour. I'm sitting there, and the thing just up. I'm like, you've got to
Oh.
be kidding me! The mail truck.
Wow.
And so, but because when he was there, I asked him about the truck across the street with the flat tire, and he did talk to the owner. The truck has a new plate, or
Registered.
it's current.
Yeah.
Right, but he did tell him about the weeds and everything else like that that are underneath the camper and underneath the truck, that he needs to take care of that, so he has
Mhm.
made mention to the property owner.
well, that's the whole mechanism we gotta figure out. Who's gonna bring it up, then who's gonna enforce it, and what's the procedure we're gonna do to, you know, to get it
Right,
done.
exactly.
It's been, it's
Okay.
kind of left alone for a lot of years.
I'm one of those guys, so that for the code enforcement, if there's somebody that is like not capable of taking care of
Correct.
what needs to be corrected, I wanna know because I wanna start a group that's gonna go and help those people, right?
And we, I
I'll go over
agree
and
a
cut the
100%,
grass,
John.
paint the
Yeah,
house,
because we
You
have
whatever.
know, we got
We
the
have
Lions,
Spike.
we got the Boy Scouts, we got pages we can put out the word.
Exactly.
And
We've
we're
done
not
that
trying to punish
before.
people, that's what
Yeah.
folks are thinking, you're trying to write tickets and try, no, that's not.
The,
To
the
No.
thing,
keep up all of our
We just want our
values, our
community
property.
to look good.
Right.
And if
All-
they're not able to do it, we gotta have people that can help out.
Yeah,
the youth clubs, 'cause my daughter belonged to 4-H. The youth clubs, and it's in and you know through high school, they need those points or whatever community service credits for graduation, and it would be a perfect. I mean, like Spike's house. I know his is a little bit
Yeah,
run down. He can't go out there and cut his grass.
well, it's just like the existing house
Throw it
that
out
now
there.
they own. The Lions got together with a bunch of other people and built a porch on the back of it for Rick.
And the guy died.
The boy,
All
now,
three,
yeah.
all labor donated, all materials donated, it's
Yeah,
not like
like
we're, you know, we're not
Yeah.
opposed to doing that. We got the
Right.
Leos too in the high school, the
Right.
junior Lions kinda.
right.
There's a Leos club there, we give them
Mhm.
some,
Oh, cool.
we
Kiwanis
give them
Club.
a scholarship every year, they
Right,
can
the
be.
scouts, if the kids are working
They're
on
very
their
good about
Eagle
that.
Scout or whatever, they
Yeah,
get all those badges.
Absolutely,
and-
they can help
We
with
got
those
Troop
people that are.
245 and the Adventures Club too. The Adventures Club's a little bit older now, we chartered them through the Lions too, so they,
Well, the
for
Memphis
18
Boy
and older,
Scouts
then they
is,
can do stuff like shoot guns and rock climb and all that stuff.
I know one of the,
They'd be more than willing to help out, I know.
That's way cool. I'm glad to hear
yeah,
that.
the scout leader for.
But it, you know,
for
it
Memphis.
takes a leader
Scouts is
to
actually a friend of
organize
mine,
it
so.
and,
Yeah, he was at the
I'm there.
Lions meeting last night.
Yeah, I can't think of his name though.
From the auction house?
No,
Were you talking about?
no,
the
for
guy
the,
with beard?
yeah, the guy with the beard.
Oh, yeah, can't think of his first name. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's heading up the Adventures Club.
Yeah, he does something with the Boy Scouts too. I think he's the
Yeah,
leader.
he's pretty thick with all of that. They're really
Yeah.
into it.
okay.
All right.
Yeah, so that was just, since we're working on zoning codes and going there, I just like people to be aware of what's going on, so we gotta
All right.
keep in mind as we,
You said zone enforcement in C1.
all right.
Got that. All right. Anything else on that? New business?
No,
We'll go with that. Any unfinished business besides?
well, it's up to you.
Well,
Review the master plan, our leader, where we at?
yeah,
We
well, it
got-
says,
what's our-
your
what's our
progress
agenda?
report on page 44 of the master plan rewrite. I guess, did you take
Well,
this
wait
up?
a
or
minute,
is-
number one is reviewing.
Oh, review, you're right,
Wait a minute.
bylaws. Review
Review the
bylaws.
bylaws.
Number one under unfinished business is reviewing the bylaws.
Where was that?
Did everybody review the bylaws?
Where did it say they were? Red line and clean copies in the Dropbox. Oh, we got Dropbox. He took out my map. He took out my map. I don't see my map in there
You
anymore.
took out your map.
There was the zoning map, so at least it was something that, you know, the
Oh.
draft. And let's see here what he's got going. He's getting us pretty organized. Here it is, 10-11. Let's see if there's anything in there. Red line bylaws, clean bylaws. Red line and clean copy are in the Dropbox, so we can do the red line.
Kilos.
Yeah, see what's in there. Once it loads, because even the city, I tried that password, it didn't work here.
Got his earbuds in.
She got. I tried Memphis City Hall and it didn't. Alright, let's see here. Let's get there. Right. So these are the red lined. Guess I didn't see what page it was on. Red line clean copies. Are
He was kind of the.
okay, so we formatted that, the City of
he was
Memphis
the
Planning Commission
orchestrator of
bylaws.
this project.
Can you guys all see that? You want me to make it bigger? There. So I'm blind as a bat too.
Can I suggest we table this until Ken is here and let him.
We'll let him run through on
I
it?
mean, he's the one who's most knowledgeable, why beat ourselves up?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to get out of the work, but
Alright, so you motion to table it until, the secretary is here?
yeah, I move we table this until
Okay.
Ken Dunbar's in attendance.
I'll second that then. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Alright, motion carried. We'll move on. That's-
Now, we're actually in the middle of it.
One was the bylaws.
And two is the review of the
two is
master
the
plan.
The ongoing review of master plan.
Sure,
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, take it away,
19,
please,
and,
what do you wanna talk about?
2037 will be discussing the master plan.
I know,
I think
well,
another 4 or 5 months we should be done.
I hope so.
I'm serious.
is this your writing or is this Ken's writing?
Well, you want me to start off with what I was reviewing?
Yeah, that's fine, let's go,
'Cause I
let's
wasn't
hit
here
on the
last
bullet
week.
points
Now,
that
we
you
started,
have.
on your stuff that I gave you, there's 2 pages like this.
Yeah,
Right,
The one that's highlighted, I did like in January of, it's supposed to be 23. And this is an example of how we had to go through and change the language, because we have old section numbers in there.
right,
And I laid this out, and this is just for your review, it's not really germane to everything that we're doing there. However, when I did this is page 44 out of the master plan, and eventually, we're going through every single page here, and we're editing.
right, I
And
don't have mine.
we got bits and pieces done. However, with the city council adopted, or an amendment to the agenda that, in this red writing here, explains what the C1 commercial overlay R1 district is. It's really just a recap of everything you can find in the code book, but it's right there. And we're proposing to add that in. This page that I typed up is what page 44, we don't have to act on this now, this is for everybody to look at and see if they agree.
this is the proposed page.
Yes, and what I did with, I explained that we amended the council, that's next week, or next month, that should be fully adopted. So immediately, I would like to put that into our master plan. So as you look through that master plan, there, on page 44, it's gonna say commercial. And then I'll change the section numbers because they're out of date. It's 150.055 commercial overlay district. And then that first thing that we've been waiting 7, 8 months for, that language, is going to be added on to what is already there. And that's what those 2 paragraphs represent. So I'm saying that should read like so.
This is what the council approved?
This is what we added. This is what went to the council here, just this. This is already, this is in the existing plan already.
The yellow,
Okay. Oh, this is in the existing?
No, yes, that's what, the finished product, I think, is gonna look fairly close to that.
okay,
Okay.
So we added, once that's fully adopted by the council, I just wanted people to keep in mind that we should put it in the master plan, so then they say the exact same thing
Absolutely.
when it comes to the C1, because we don't want any more suings or battles going on over the zoning along the
Absolutely.
N19 corridor. And I just made a little note there, so this, again, you can find this all on page 44 of the master plan. John, I'll make sure you get a copy printed up here too, and John. But commercial, this is one thing that we're gonna have to talk about on that page, which, again, we left undone, but just to remind you people of what's going on. There is in our code book a section called vehicular C2.
commercial vehicles.
Yes, commercial vehicles 2. That is just a blank spot in our code book there under 150.056. There's nothing written there. So if we choose to do something with that, that's where we'll go in the code book. In the master plan, there is a description of what that is. And basically the way I understand it is, if you were to build, say at the end of town, we have some shops with parking, like a strip mall, something like that. It would govern those kind of structures. I mean, but we really need to talk about that, because we don't have to have it in there at all. But do we want to have that potential And we have to keep in mind, we don't wanna kill our downtown business district. Can we link them together? Is it gonna hurt downtown?
Is this in regards to, what are you saying for
This is on
commercial?
page 44, so, you know, the commercial, I think that's done. Now that we've got that language adopted, I think that'll fly right there. There's really, that should be done. And then on that same page, you're going to commercial vehicular C2.
This is C2,
We don't have anything in there. We do have description when you look under the zoning in here of what it says that is. So we need to sync those two up, or we need to either get rid of it out of the master plan and just leave that section blank. It's worth some discussion to see if we want to have opportunities for a developer if they come in. It would be nice to have something like that on the books, but we really need to think about how we want
You're talking in regards to
Describe
commercial
it.
vehicles parked on city streets after
to.
certain.
No, this would be like a development, if you built a development, again, say it's a strip mall,
Okay,
but you have your own parking for that development.
okay.
You know, like any little shopping center.
Okay, so parking lots more
Like
like.
Dollar General or whatever that is down there,
Okay.
right? Like that.
But this would be 3, 4, 5 buildings maybe.
Okay,
You
so
know, maybe
it's-
there's a barber shop, maybe there's
So
a
it's only-
masseuse,
So if we have
whatever.
a strip mall, they have to have so many designated parking spaces.
Well, yeah, that's all laid out in code, huh?
Yeah.
You know, that's all out.
I
out
think
there.
that it would refer more to, you're talking about commercial vehicles, would it be more to, a
No.
business that had commercial vehicles and they're gonna be parking them out? in
Yeah, or
the
just
site?
more commercial traffic, not necessarily, I'm not talking about,
Commercial
you know,
traffic.
semi-trucks and vans,
Mhm.
although they may be coming in and
Yeah.
out of there.
Mhm.
It's an interesting point that we'll need to get through to finish up page 44, but again, this is just, I just wanted to update that because I wrote that other stuff up in January,
Yeah,
so I don't wanna look at that anymore. At least we could look at this. And then the last two pieces on there, on what page is, section 150.051, Central Business District. I updated the code section, calling it Central Business, and the language is already there. I didn't bother repeating it. And also, the last thing on that page was for the light industrial district. Again, that's already described. I think we can use that language. So it's almost one more page that we could put to bed here soon when we get to it. But Tom, I don't know what your agenda is on what parts you want to work on next, where we're at. We've done a few different things now, but we need to understand where you want us to go next, what do you want us to work on next. And this you can just stick in your notes somewhere and we'll pull it out when we get
So-
there, or
But I'm not understanding what you wanna do here.
we need to figure out what do we
To
want. I don't know
figure
we
out
do.
what we're gonna put in here?
Yeah,
Or
'cause in the-
eliminate it totally?
That's two choices we have.
Okay.
But it's in the master plan now, but it's not in the code book.
Yeah, I was trying to pull up the master plan, but it's not.
Oh, okay,
There's just the heading
okay,
there.
yeah,
That's it. So
okay.
if we're gonna have it in the master plan, we need to have the code book reflect what can and can't be done
Or
under
we
that
could
that
just take it
zoning.
out, we could just remove it from the master.
We could, and if we do include it, then we have to have a designated spot on our zoning map where that
For a
can take
commercial
place.
vehicle, for commercial vehicles.
If we have a C2, we
So
gotta
it's not in
show,
the code book? This is not in the code book?
just, all that
It's
is
ju-
in
it's just
there.
I think what he was saying, it's just a paragraph, it's not even that, it's just
That's
a mention, that's
no,
it.
the code book, Barb, all this is in there is just that heading, with nothing. It's just
With
one
nothing.
It
point.
doesn't say, it doesn't specify what C2 is.
Right, okay.
It's one
It's just
point-
there.
Or
It just says-
150.056. That's all there is. And there's no language or anything. So I think they put
Doesn't
that there
explain- Yeah,
with the idea that when we get that figured out, we're gonna include it right under, because we got C1,
right,
C2, and it's showing the differences.
okay.
But on the master plan, they did go ahead and describe that. If you read the zoning descriptions and so forth, you'll see a pretty thorough description that
Let me
we.
see yours real quick. That's it.
Yeah, toward the back, or if you look under zoning, I think that's where it's at.
Zoning plan 47. Commissioner. Why is it in it? Section 7, why did I not see it on there? I'm gonna have to look again.
index and see, look up under zoning. See-
Oh, no, I got it
Oh,
right
do you
here.
got it? Okay.
Yeah. Design and provide sites for planned shopping centers and businesses that would be compatible with the pedestrian orientation of the central district. It says uses permitted by right include all principal permitted uses in the C1 neighborhood, but that's been changed, aren't we? Or is that,
No,
that's
we're
not?
good with the C1. You can look up exactly what C1 is allowed, so you can do that stuff, plus,
No, I'm saying we change it from neighborhood commercial district to commercial overlay district is what I'm saying is.
yeah, the language, well, we
We
didn't
haven't
change the
changed the
language on the
language
page yet,
Okay,
but that's gotta happen. But that's the old plan. And I did keep referring to it purposely, commercial overlay district C1.
right,
Because it
right.
has in there neighborhood, commercial district, so a lot of
581
confusion
for
between
schedule
these
of
documents.
regulations. So it's section 581, it's in the main book, isn't it? Or-
Well, that's from the 1979 code book, that's why I gotta have all the new numbers. It's actually
Oh,
gonna be
okay.
156 or 155.056.
Yeah, that's how you have it set up right now.
And-
This is what it's gonna be.
And the entire master plan has gotta be updated piece by piece, that's simple enough. to
Is
do.
this just allowing parking? I mean, that's what I'm saying, that's what I'm trying to
It
understand.
looks to me, Tom, it's like you're having these businesses, but they're gonna have their own ancillary parking associated with those businesses.
That's
Okay,
what
like we have
C2
over here.
Well, we don't have room for a lot of parking in
No, we
central
don't.
business, so that's what I'm saying, it could be a possibility where someone had a development plan, they could develop it with putting their own parking in. But that is, again, that's just for future discussion, I just wanted to just throw it out there that we can think
What
about.
do we wanna do with it? Do we wanna take it out, or do we wanna leave it and describe what it's gonna be?
Yeah, and if we leave
That's
it
the
in.
two choices.
If we leave it in,
We have,
describe.
we have the same
Say what it
information
is.
in the master plan, we have the same information in the code book.
Well, it seems like almost like the commercial vehicle.
Yeah, that's it.
Vehicular is kind of similar to the commercial overlay in regards to.
It is, I mean, with what's allowed, but
Yeah,
it's just talking about space. You know, you can't have nobody can put a commercial development in downtown, there's no room.
No, there isn't.
So then it's like, well, if we wanted to expand, how would we do it, where would we do it, under what guidelines would we do it? And at the same time, not wanting to hurt downtown business either.
Yeah, cause this could apply to this parking right here.
Sure.
Because it's centralized parking for this district.
Yes.
And that could be a C2, then you have to make sure whatever you put in there doesn't affect what you already have, but also give
Well,
you-
whatever they put in there, that's already governed under central business district, that would be governed under central business district,
Okay,
not C2.
not C2,
That-
C2
C2
is
would
gonna
be
be, put a strip mall down, heading out of town.
That would be a whole different zoning,
That would-
if we include it.
Gotcha. They're put up, like you said, whatever they put in, a barber shop, flower shop, there's 3 businesses in a row, how do we,
Chauffeur service, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, what about the party store? That's got its own parking lot, is that a C2?
C1. That's on M19, that
Alright.
falls under C1 Commercial Business District Overlay.
that's this one, the .5.
Oh, so a
Correct.
C2 would be an
Different
area that's
zoning.
not in C1.
So,
Correct.
so C2 would be if they want, like I said, if you want to,
Go on Boardman somewhere or add
Or-
something.
well, let's take the grain elevator, they want to redevelop
Yes,
that.
I'm thinking more of the north.
Mhm.
or-
The north
yeah,
end of
north
town,
end of
yeah, they
town
wanna
is really the
redevelop.
only
They're gonna
area
tear down
we
the
have.
grain elevator and they want to put
That's
in,
all that's left.
put another small strip mall.
Right.
Are we gonna, is that gonna, were we gonna, rezone that C2 with the parking, or would that?
Well, we would put it on, we would show that on our zoning map. And we actually show it on a future zoning map, because there's a future land use planning for our overall master plan. And then if anybody ever came and said, you know, hey, Memphis, we would like to do this over there, then we would, I think, that would be the time to say, well, go through the process, you know, ask to rezone that, go to the planning commission, have a public hearing. If it was agreed upon, that zoning would be changed, they would present their plans for building, that again would go to the planning commission, we'll give our opinion on it, kick it to council, see what they thought about it.
I would still think that would be C1 over there, I mean, 'cause C1 almost encompasses more on it. Having
It's
C1
not C1 currently, it's light agricultural out there.
as agricultural. I mean, but we can rezone it C1 if it was requested and approved.
It's a possibility, I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, if you're not, you have no skin in either game. I get what you're saying. Which way do we wanna do it?
That's what I'm saying, cause I'm trying to figure out.
Well, a builder coming into town right now, they could tie us up.
Yeah.
Because it, look, you got it in your code book, you got it in your master plan, or you don't have it, you know, that's where we get steamrolled if we don't.
Because there's no description of what it is. It's in there, but it doesn't say what it is.
Right.
It's in the master plan,
Yes,
C2. And they say, well, screw you, it's not in the code book, but it's in your master plan, so now they, you know, if they, I'm not saying they would, but everybody wants to sue you all the time.
Yeah.
I would probably scratch it, I mean,
You don't have to make a decision now, I just wanted to introduce the
The
topic.
master plan is not an ordinance.
Right.
right.
Master plan is an idea,
Yeah, I'm not sure why that would even
a
need to be in the
forward-looking
master
plan,
plan.
I'm just saying, it's not an
Right.
ordinance.
Right.
It's not rules, it's
Right.
what you think you wanna
It
do
doesn't, I
in
don't
the
see
future.
why it has to stay in the master plan.
Yeah,
But-
That would be our easiest course, is just to exit out of there and
Let's just
leave.
scratch it all out and call it a day. No, I don't know.
I'm fine if y'all wanna go that way, I really am. It's just a detail that needs to be addressed.
Right, well, we can,
If we did that, then we would have page 44 complete.
well, that was.
Whoa.
well, I'm not doing it at this point in time, I just got back into town, so I just came
Yeah.
to sign some checks,
It's okay.
have a good night.
missed most of it, so.
All right.
Ticker. Yeah, I'm okay, I mean,
Do we have to have a motion for that, or how would we?
No, because we're just
Just a
drafting still.
consensus of, yeah,
we're still kicking the ball around the court.
We're drafting, because we're gonna have to,
right,
we gotta put a notification in when we're ready to have this reviewed by state law.
mm-hmm,
And then we can submit either parts or the whole package for council's
mm-hmm.
perusal and feedback, and then if they accept it, I think we have to have a public meeting too.
Yeah, it says decide whether we want the zone and updated master plan or just, or so craft the language and include that language in the.
So we could just exit out.
Yeah, because it seems like, more or less to me, it seems like C1 is more
Gonna cover everything.
gonna cover everything.
Right.
I agree.
And
I
it's
mean,
something that
if
it
someone wants to
comes
build a frickin' parking lot, that's all I wanna
Right.
build is a
If it
parking
comes
lot.
up, then it can come before the board and it can.
We
be
can
decided
rezone,
on
we
that.
can
Well, yeah,
rezone,
and-
we can,
Yeah,
It was just
Right.
one of the many things in the master plan that was left as a halfway measure. and
the
never
only thing I could think of what
and I just wanted
C2
to
would be
get rid of
used
all
for.
those. So we
Yeah.
can't go ahead and address
I
it.
agree.
Oh, I
You gotta
see.
get rid of all those holes because that's exactly what's gonna happen and we're gonna end up back in court again or something.
well,
Right, the only thing, the
We
only
gotta
reason I
stop
see a
that.
C2 is if we had paid parking, public parking, where we had a big lot, people paid and put money in meters, but there's no, you know, you have an ordinance for no overnight parking,
Well,
no overnight vehicles, blah, 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 blah,
Right.
blah,
Well,
blah, like
when the-
most large cities do.
when the
You bring
county,
that one up to the citizens.
Paid parking?
when the county people did
I might
this
scoot away. You bring it
for
up.
us,
I
My
just,
parking meter's in.
this
I
is
have a
way
meter
too
maid.
much, this is way too much information for the master plan.
there's a lot in here that,
Yeah, you
yeah,
didn't see
I
two
agree
things
I'm
there.
looking at the C2 thing and it's like,
Yes.
The gall doctor, I
why?
can't
And
pull it
why
up.
does it have to be in there?
It seems like it reflects C1, that's the thing,
Yeah.
it really does.
Well, we had
Provide
people
sites
helping
for
us
planned
from the
shopping
counties
centers.
drawing these master plans.
They were
Yeah,
larger,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they're thinking,
To me, I'm
different
thinking
money.
of
Square mile,
public-
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, public
I think
parking.
we're covered.
That's
I-
probably how it ended up in there.
I would-
Makes sense. I mean, if you're at Port Huron or Mount Clemens, you're gonna have that information in there.
Yeah, we had a lot of people from Macomb County helping with the last
Like
draft.
ride share.
Makes sense.
Rideshare would be a C2 kind of thing, it's just a parking lot. You know, that's vehicular, you know, commercial vehicles,
Yeah, it's
blah,
not
blah,
an
blah.
issue we probably have to attack anytime soon, but as
I,
John said, we
yeah, I
can
don't
always
see, I really don't see why we
entertain when
need
it
it in
comes
there.
along.
Like I said, we're
Alright, well-
one, like John said, we're 1 square mile.
We don't have to decide this tonight.
No,
No.
I didn't mean
But
to
I like
take up a
where, I mean,
lot.
we're all,
But I think,
Yeah, it makes
I
sense
think
to-
we need to discuss it more in our next meeting when we have a full
Well,
house.
that's it, yeah.
Well, make a note for when we get into our reviewing master plan part, that's on every agenda now.
Yeah, it's-
If you make a note for it, because you'll have to remind us, then if you wanna bring it up when everybody else is here.
Yeah, let's, make a motion to note, or how do you wanna do that?
Well, we don't
Yeah,
have to
do
make a
We
motion,
don't
we're just
have to have a
reviewing.
motion.
Okay.
Again, we're just
We'll just talk
spitballing
about
here.
it next
Okay,
time.
do we have to mention, we don't have to say the C2, we just all know we're
No.
gonna bring it up next time?
No, it's just purely, we're just reviewing the master plan. That
Okay.
takes up the whole scope of talking about anything to do with the master
Alright,
plan.
so-
It does.
Motion to
It's a
move,
big- it's a big-
review of the master plan on the next meeting, really hunker down into it on this C2. Get
Yeah,
down to
we
the
can
nitty-gritty.
we can decide this next month. You know,
Yeah.
we're missing some key players here.
Exactly, yeah, so definitely, I want a full house here.
By the way, John, this is my second meeting, so.
And my first, I hate to say I'm traveling,
Like Dunbar
For the
and
next
Riley
meeting in
and
November,
Kurt
I'm
here.
not
It's
sure.
all right, we'll get you minutes,
but I can call in.
This
I
is,
mean,
if you like, yeah.
yeah, if you guys are good for that, I'll call in, I can do Zoom Teams, I can call Greg.
I gotta
all
get
right, yeah, we can talk to you
Those
on the
last two
phone.
pages though, just to
Perfect.
quickly mention,
Yes,
I took Michigan State University
I saw.
planning
I
class.
read that, yeah.
And these are all, this is what I'm looking at against this, I'm kind of getting back into mindset of the master plan. These are all some of the best things I got out of that class. I thought just for your information, look at it, if it's helpful, but it touches on a lot of points, some of them right spot on to what we're dealing with.
Right.
But I just wanted to share that with you, because this is the way I'm looking at it. You know, this is
Yeah.
kind of what I'm using as a guideline as we go through the various parts of this. And it was a good class, and I've got the full textbook if anybody ever wants to look at it. It's got a million resources in it. Ken has it right now, our secretary. I loaned it to him, he was looking at it, but
Okay.
I think it was a 10-week class, so we had really good speakers, presenters for 10 weeks in a
Well, that
row.
was great.
And
We
that's,
learned a lot at
so
that meeting.
that's,
Okay,
that's all I had there, the new stuff,
Cool.
for mentions.
See if we can get that,
Where were we at, Chairman?
limited bylaws, reviewing the master plans. I guess that was the comments from commissioners.
Are we done reviewing the master plan for this session now? Or is there anything you want to bring up, or a task you want to give us? What do you want to work on next?
I want to email.
Wait for Ken?
Yeah, I wanna wait for Ken.
Okay.
Like I said, cause this is really, the C2 thing is really eating at me.
Sorry about that.
Oh, no, that's good, like I said, it's,
well.
Good, because it's been eating at me for a year.
yeah, I mean, cause it's just something that we really need to hunker down on that.
Okay, that's good. We'll get back on track.
Yeah, that'll get us back on there, cause I said we're down to page 44, and my copy of it is not here, so I was gonna, you know, that's what I do, I always bring it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
can
copies
you,
of
yeah,
that.
I'll make sure I get that done for you guys.
How many, I didn't look, how many pages are there?
a lot.
45.
Here it is,
48.
50, this 53 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it up here and it said 63, so.
No, 63, 53,
Well-
we're making our way to the end of it.
Mr. Dunbar is
Real
doing,
fancy.
he's really getting this organized. This is our Dropbox.
Yeah.
The planning commission, you can see the dates, where everything's in there, where everything's pertinent information that he needs to share with everybody, that you can log in the Dropbox and pull it up. Everybody has a login for it. And
I need you to reschool me on that, but you have to bring the Johns into this.
He gave me the information.
Okay, good.
You got, yeah, you got.
I have
that.
I just have to give it to the other.
It is pretty handy. I mean, once I get to using it.
With this being my first time here, we are planning to try and focus on this master plan to kind of cut back on the multi-family stuff that's showing up around here and kind of limit it to what we have currently in hoping.
That was a sentiment that I was hearing expressed at the zoning board meetings, and
Okay.
keeping in mind that anything that is in RM, residential multiple, somebody could bring plans for that. So we, just by case basis, we need to
Right.
look at that, and if
And
we're looking on leaning one way or another, you gotta mount a campaign and bring people in, and educate folks on the reasons why, and
with some of what we have already currently, it's a bit, doesn't seem very controlled.
it'd be good to look at exactly
Yeah,
how much of this we have and where it is in
Yeah,
town.
some of it, it's not going very well. And I think you all know what I'm talking about. the Kreiderman experience back there.
Got the old high school over here.
The old high school here, yeah, we've got a lot of,
Couple on the south end of town,
riff
they
raff
all look
happening.
very clean and well kept up,
Yeah.
that little motel type place.
yeah,
And we got one next to Kurt's, the mayor's house, that was put in several years ago, right on the corner of Pratt, not on the corner, but just to the west.
You're talking about you're talking about
And-
Yeah, there's
multi-tenant,
Multi-unit,
multi-unit.
housing,
Yeah.
is that what
there's
you-
8 or 10.
a lot of what brings that up in quality is the code enforcement and the
Agreed.
higher standards of code that's placed on it and.
That's what I'm looking at. from
More
over there.
inspections, yeah. I understand over here we've got multiple groups of people that earn enough money to buy booze and drugs, and there's 4 people living in one unit that are paying the rent. It's like,
Yeah, I've
Right.
heard similar stories.
I haven't seen anything change down
Concern.
here, I mean, in the old high school.
You have not?
No, I said, somebody just moved into one of the apartments, but it only looked like a single family.
That's where I landed when I first came to town, I had a studio apartment on the
That's-
second floor.
all of my kids have lived in that school.
yeah, it is a
They
big-
have moved in and out of there,
I
you know,
did.
stayed there for a year or two.
Pretty
till they
cool
get-
building.
Yeah, it's cheap,
I
it's
walked
easy,
by
and
it.
yeah.
I walked by it.
I don't know
yeah.
what it's like now, but
Well, I had a friend that was looking for a place, and I recommended him go check it out. And he said, and I forgot the term that he used, but wasn't a very polite term. It was like somewhere between Section 8 and
because it used to
Right.
be, I mean,
You
I
know,
know my kids moved there because
the
it was
apartments,
$400 a
you know,
month or
ones
whatever
off
it
the
was.
lot.
It was very inexpensive.
it's inexpensive, yeah.
But I don't know the type of people that are.
I was there 20 years ago, and it was fine.
So far,
Yeah.
I haven't had any
For a while I was
issues
there.
living down the street from them.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
you live right there.
I live 4 houses down. I literally.
But those are some of the proactive things that,
Yeah, we need to be proactive. This is a farming community. That's why I moved out here. When I first moved out here, people were riding their horses down the street. I mean,
Yep,
and you guys been here for a while,
did
you've
that,
seen
she will
that, right?
definitely be doing it.
yep,
And
yep.
that's part of the draw, and I mean, we wanna increase our property values. If you own a home, all of us, I'm sure we own something here, and that's an investment, that's our investment.
It is.
And if
Major
we
investment.
don't control more of what's going on, our property values are gonna just diminish. And they haven't really gained like other areas have. Our property values have stayed pretty flat. And all these other areas have really gained and just soared. And the thing that we need is when people from outside come in, now we've got the winery in, there's
That's
A
what draws
lot
a
of
lot of people.
from
There's
the
a
west
lot of
side,
people.
I talked to people out in Plymouth
Yeah,
that I work with that they know about this winery.
yeah.
They're like, oh, you live in Memphis, do you go to the winery? You know, and that's a big draw, but then when these people are coming through, and for a while there, I don't know if you guys saw it, but there was the guy in front of the gas station holding up the sign begging for money with like some really profane language on it, that's my grandson. I stopped and I told him, you need to leave. Get out of my town now. So, you know, we don't need that. And when these people are coming through to see our nice stuff, and they see that, they're gonna say, nice to come here, but I don't wanna stay.
Right.
But if they come here and it's a great experience, they're gonna say, you know what, this is really a cool town, I wanna live here.
Right.
And then that drives our property values up because we've got multiple people that wanna buy houses.
we got a
There's more
unique
buyers.
opportunity, we
Yeah.
got 1 square mile.
We got
can
1
make
square
that
mile.
Absolutely. I have
Let's
someone.
clean it up.
This part of Boardman going through there, once that gets done, that's gonna make a big difference. It's gonna look a lot
Did
more
we?
Yeah,
upscale versus, not that it wasn't bad the way it was, but now you're gonna have
Major.
designated
It's a
parking.
major
and
improvement.
yeah, it's gonna look so nice. And they said, once I heard that rumor that the Bell River Road's gonna get repaved.
it is.
I am so excited for that, cause that noise.
Everybody is.
It is, man, you hear every trailer bounce
So
down.
we're
the
making a
road.
lot of progress, really.
Yeah, we are.
Not to
Fairly
interject.
optimistic.
Do we want to motion this to move this over till we get the rest of the members here? For the
That was just
CG portion?
information, we're not doing,
Okay.
just reviewing, just talking.
Okay, well, that's a review management, all right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get on
Oh,
my
that's
soapbox,
okay.
but I just
Any
wanted
comments
to.
John,
from
that's why you're here.
commissioners?
Well- That's,
We wanna hear from
you need to
everybody.
be, and you need to be here, because
Okay.
Yes,
we're this little group that has been around for 100 years, and we need some fresh ideas and some new people.
It's a cool time.
Are
to live
starting to understand
It is.
what's going on here.
Mhm.
I have a friend, someone that owns a restaurant up in Farmington Hills, and his brother, it's almost like freeze-dried candy. And it's, you know, organic treats and stuff like that. And I tried it, it's really good, the stuff I had was like freeze-dried honey drops. But they're looking at opening up a storefront with a factory in this area. So I told him about our town, and he goes, that sounds like an idea, I'm just waiting for the person to call me so I can point him in the right direction to our commission, the zoning board, city council. And it'd be another, I said, because we have great storefronts here, we just need to bring the business in.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity.
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And if we get all this infrastructure, not infrastructure, but all the paperwork in place.
Get the master plan done, and
Then we can really concentrate on what people bring.
yeah, like I said, we'll talk about
Second
C2.
guessing what motives it would be or what they can do, what they can't do.
Mhm.
We'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holly
I
used
said,
to
we'll
be
touch on
just
this.
a small nothing town. I remember going to Holly and it was nothing.
Holly's
Now
huge.
Holly is a destination, right?
Look at Romeo. Romeo's the same size as we are,
Yeah.
but I mean, they have like 3 times the business.
My friend just, they bought a house on 32 Mile Road and they redid it and they just sold it for $1.2 million.
Do you want a motion to adjourn and just for general conversation?
I move we adjourn.
Sure.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all
Aye.
opposed.
So
Alright,
one
motion
other-
carried, closing the meeting out at 7:45.
One other thing to add while Barb's taking notes, I had thought about it and I don't know if we can hit somebody at the high school and put something out there for any student that may want to come to any of the meetings, I don't care if it's city council, whatever it is, and just be a part of it and sit and take notes, learn how to take notes, whatever, but they can start to see how that functions and then it takes some of the pressure off of Barb
The
or whoever's taking
government,
notes.
yeah, you know,
Right?
We'll